In the world of rap, one of the most dangerous addictions isn't fame, it's denial. Rappers build entire empires off of hype, status, and reputation. But the moment the hype fades, the real test begins. Some artists accept the drop-off with grace. They pivot, evolve, or step back altogether. Others, they pretend it's not happening. They fight the numbers. They claim stats that don't exist. They try to force the internet to care again. Today's story is about French Montana, a rapper who didn't just fall off, he refused to admit it. From dominating the charts with features, to faking streams, to calling himself bigger than Kendrick Lamar, French Montana's journey is less about music, and more about the lengths some artists go to keep their name alive. But what happens when every attempt to stay relevant only pushes you further out of the spotlight? What does it look like when ego gets louder than the music? This isn't just a takedown. This is a case study of fame, fall off, and how not to handle it. Let's rewind. French Montana wasn't always seen as a meme. He had hits, real ones. Pop That, Lockjaw, No Stylist. And of course the monster hit, Unforgettable. For a while he was everywhere. Clubs, radio, collabs. French had carved out a space in the hip-hop landscape. But look closer at those songs, and a pattern starts to emerge. In Pop That, it was Rick Ross, Drake, and Lil Wayne who really carried the track. In No Stylist, it was Drake who everyone remembered. And Unforgettable? That was a Sway Lee showcase. Let's be honest, French felt like a guest on his own song, and fans noticed. French wasn't a solo act. He was a supporting character surrounded by stars. There's nothing wrong with that. Features are part of the game. But when you build your career around them, you create a fragile brand. So when the features dry up, the shine fades fast. By 2019, the numbers started dipping. His album Montana sold just 25,000 copies first week, half of what his previous album did. It was the first sign that the machine wasn't working anymore. But instead of adjusting, French went into defense mode, trying to recapture a moment that had already passed. And that's where things started to get messy. December 2019. French Montana drops his new single, Writing on the Wall. It features Cardi B and Post Malone, two of the biggest names in music. But something weird happens. Overnight, the song shoots up the Spotify charts, number 21 to be exact. But on Apple Music, it's ranked outside the top 1,000. Fans start reporting that their Spotify accounts are randomly playing the song, on repeat all day. Some users didn't even know who French Montana was, and yet their recently played list told a different story. A viral Twitter thread accused French's team of hacking inactive accounts to generate fake streams. Screenshots piled up. Users were confused. Spotify started getting tagged in hundreds of tweets. Whether French orchestrated it himself or not, the damage was done. Suddenly, his name wasn't associated with music. It was associated with manipulation. And how did French respond? Not by laying low. He went full-on Twitter rampage, spamming stats, defending his name, claiming he was being targeted. Instead of rebuilding trust, he fueled the narrative. In the era of receipts and algorithms, trying to trick the system only exposes how much you're trying to stay relevant. And for French, the fallout was just beginning. What was once seen as hustle now looked like desperation. The audience wasn't convinced, and the industry took notice. Because in today's music world, perception is currency, and French was going bankrupt. Behind the scenes, labels and execs started pulling back. Collaborators grew silent. French wasn't just facing memes. He was facing music industry exile. Blogs that once hyped his grind were now questioning his legacy. And the worst part? Every attempt to defend himself only made things worse. Because when you're desperate to prove you're still on top, the internet smells it. They don't reward defensiveness. They mock it. This wasn't just a PR crisis. It was a credibility collapse. Suddenly, French wasn't the wave. He was the warning. Just a few months later, French delivered the line that would haunt him forever. In an interview with Complex, he said, and I quote, "Honestly, you could put me and Kendrick Lamar on the same stage at a festival. I might outshine him." He claimed it wasn't about being a better rapper, just that he had more hits. The internet erupted. Fans pulled stats. Artists jumped in. Memes were made at record speed. Kendrick Lamar, 8 top 10 hits. French Montana, 2. It wasn't even close. Even Young Thug took shots, calling the claim delusional. Twitter did what Twitter does. Someone posted a Squid Game meme. Name 5 French Montana songs without features. It got thousands of likes. French responded, posting a long list of solo tracks. But the top reply cut deep. "All you proved is that you're the only one who knows 5 solo French songs." It was funny. It was brutal. And it stuck. That one comment became symbolic of French's entire situation. The only person who believed in his legacy was himself. And rather than pivot, French doubled down. Angry tweets, emotional posts, and what came next? A desperate attempt to rewrite the narrative. Instead of letting the moment pass, French turned it into a battle no one asked for. He posted streaming numbers. He flexed plaques. He tried to validate himself with metrics, but missed the point entirely. Because legacy isn't just about numbers. It's about impact. Kendrick didn't need to reply. The culture did it for him. While Kendrick was shaping conversations, French was chasing them. And slowly his outbursts began to look less like confidence and more like insecurity. The Kendrick comment became a meme, a cautionary tale, the danger of believing your own hype too deeply. Even casual fans started wondering, was French Montana ever really in the same league? Or just in the same room? French Montana's story isn't about falling off. It's about refusing to let go. When the music fades and the numbers don't lie, what's left is ego. Sometimes the loudest voices are hiding the quiet truth. The spotlight moved on, and they just couldn't. Want more honest breakdowns like this? Hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and let us know who's next. This was your reminder. Legacy isn't bought. It's earned.